You ready to go? Huh? You ready to go back to the office? I know, let's go. Back to your garage, which should be easy, right? You just cut it back out and then
Put it back out. You leave this tank ceiling, tear out these walls right here, and then just move it back out the window. Probably back. The original window is actually about twice that size and was with just figure out something.
okay.
Basically, it'll take it back to access, that stairway access. We can either just do a pop up and be okay with since it's gonna be.
That's fine.
The original entrance is probably right here, or they may have a step right here. I don't know. The one over there went into the kitchen versus right here, and you can tell this is after the fact. And I missed it. So I effectively be off this, then it just widen up, but you know, put in the increase or stuff like that. You're ahead of this. Because so there'll be some light pushing and stuff.
Okay.
The windows, like I honestly, in the street, like I was shocked at how decent these are compared to the other. Like you can look at all of that can be replaced, so that the actual windows themselves, we might have left out on that part. There might be some things that can be done. The same windows is over there, so they're older.
I don't know how to work them.
Well, I mean, not all of them probably work, but you got to understand you'll have to replace probably all.
Oh, there it is.
Like they're actually not terrible. They're not terrible.
Yeah, but what are they gonna look like? Like it's gonna have to be recaulked for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. All this will have to be redone, cells and everything else. Because if we're doing rock, this one here is super dark. But if we're doing anything like that,
So, can you before we put trim up, can we make a decision on windows before we put trim in? So let's paint the house, get it all clean, and then we can see what the windows are.
no, they all will move forward.
Okay. Back then here real quick, I was gonna mention something. Can we paint the garage floor? Make it,
Right, like a medium gray.
yeah, just paint it fresh concrete paint or something. Doesn't have to be those chips or whatever, just make it look nice. Okay. And this is where you're talking about.
Yeah, this is one of the areas, and you know, like they've got the stain guard and things like that we can throw up. But like, you know, if we do need to replace rock, it might be something that we have to do in certain areas. I'm not saying this is going to have to be done, but I do know that certain areas.
We're doing drywall over here already. And look at this whole wall. Might as well get new drywall. Look how bad the texture is.
Rip this all the way down to bare studs, frames, door. Because there might be an adder up here. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But if not, we'll build one in and put it in so we're in the correct place.
Getting rid of this.
Yeah.
So cabinets, the big one. What are we doing here? What do you think?
So this is where I'm worried at is from the sink over, because there's definitely been water damage. That's why the outside is all tore up. So we're gonna have to rip out at least from the sink over just to see what kind of damage. And at that point, we may be taking out to the corner because that's where the break is.
I think the cost for what? 1, 2, 3 bottoms and a handful of tops. Just do all of it. Then it fits. It looks nice. It's new because you got shelf. Look at this. How bad that shelf is down there.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's at this point, if we're stripping it down, we might as well strip it down.
Okay, let's do that. Let's go ahead. And then you can go ahead and get rid of the soffit and just that.
Because I like, you know, we can just figure out the cabinet part. That's not too bad. We'll order them and
Okay. This can come out as well.
all that'll get popped off. We'll just go back to regular rock. I guess we could, if worst case scenario, if it was super damaged and we had to replace it or something, we could do a wainscot over it, the slats. That's what the other one had. I mean, we could do that or just do a new rock either way.
Yeah, I think if you're doing drywall in certain spots, every wall that needs is just added in. So if we save it, great. If not, okay.
So this is where we're gonna have to get into some stuff. You know, like we'll have to figure out what's going on here. This is some of the.
They left some clothes down there in crawl space. What size you wear?
We'll figure out how to get this out. Of course, remove all the popcorn, go back to a stop or some type of spray on texture. You know, probably get that platform out of there. I don't know why that's there, but water heater, get all that fixed up. Here's furnace.
No, yeah, I think if you can,
So new furnace, new condenser.
you take some steel wool and you just rub off all the rust.
Yeah. But at least it's a furnace closet. So
Okay.
it's replaced. The line set goes right off the back. So it's
Okay.
super easy. Closet. That through.
What's wrong with the bathroom?
It's unused, actually. It's a rough one.
Okay.
We're definitely gonna be in here for a while.
You're just gonna take out all the subfloor and all the walls. You're taking this one out to the studs.
Yeah, we're gonna have to we'll undercut all the way around to make sure we get all the plywood out, put down new subfloor, make sure the joists underneath are good.
Okay.
There's no damage to them before we do anything else.
Okay.
Like we'll have to remove everything and see where we are first.
Is this the room you're saying drywall because you think it's gonna be hard time?
I mean, it's, like we can get paint to cover it, but the issue is like once you have so many layers of paint on it, like you can't get any of the other stuff to match. You're gonna have a flat textured wall, or the only other thing to do is to retexture all the walls in the house, and at that point they're gonna blend it.
Another thing too, what we find is when there's a fresh coat paint, you're gonna see how this is flat right here, where they did a DIY patch, and all these holes are gonna. So
It shows itself. Once you get light paint on it, it comes out like a
can you just get a bid what it would cost to demo and do all new drywall, and then we compare to what we think it'd be just a spot. Looks like most of the subfloor is good.
Yeah, this one in here isn't bad. The one bad thing is it's that particle board or whatnot. But if the worst case scenario, we could go through and tear out as needed,
Well,
because it's easy enough to pop up singles,
what do they call that?
not overlap.
Over laminate in here would be perfect.
Yeah, we just cover everything up with a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch. But at the same time, we just want to make sure that anything that's damaged, we want to get out before we cover it.
You're replacing all the trim too, right? Okay.
All work, doors, windows, whole 9 yard.
So it looks like only these two rooms have the popcorn ceilings.
But and what we'll do is it's almost as inexpensive to spray wall it down and texture everything as opposed to trying to match.
And paint it 3 times with popcorn.
Correct. So as once it gets this dark here, there's no saving. Like once it's that color, it'll cast such a shadow, you just won't be able to.
Yeah.
I swear, like I'm not lying to.
It's just like this stuff. Like as long as we can get it clean,
So they're vinyl, so they shouldn't count for use remotely.
we can just
On there should scrub off. But that's not me. I was very surprised at the one. It's very surprised. Because the other ones weren't even in discussion.
let me know when you get to that point. I'll have Kayla come over and see the windows.
The closet, we'll just go back standard. It's everything with the new shelves, stuff like that. Doors, six panels that we're gonna have to replace them anyway, so we'll just go ahead and upgrade those.
Okay.
Like through probably 20 bucks difference, something like that. Some of the newer ones are something really like this on.
Yeah.
Like if we did top view with failing. But we're gonna have to get into some of the siding or the original siding to get it fixed. You can see where the water's damaged all that over time, and it just rotted away at it. So we'll strip all this down and put the board up, and kind of get all the bad off, down towards the bottom and that type of thing, because they're gonna have to have some more of a flat surface.
On the rest of the house, are they just gonna go siding over top what's existing?
It's with the slats the way that they are, they can run their strips and.
Is there enough gap around the windows to do that?
We might run J, we may be able to do it, but if not, the worst case scenario is we'll strip those strips off and then go down that way.
Okay, so you're just take this down to the studs, probably from about here, maybe from this window over.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend, because that's kitchen. So kitchen all the way over to here.
And then,
We're gonna definitely be up to here for sure.
and then maybe a little bit on that side. Well, it really depends because you got enough rod up here too. You gotta take this gutter off.
Yep, that's what I mean. This is the board that I was talking about. I get it.
Yeah.
like once we get back in there, that's definitely framing that's rotted. So we'll have to get those out and then make sure that the trusses aren't rotted on that top side.
Okay.
But because it will have to, whenever we get the roof off, we'll start getting underneath the sheeting and seeing some of that, you know, some of where the damage is.
You really don't need a garage if you can just park in the backyard.
Yeah. Well, makes it easy to get out, I guess. But the yard will clean up nice. Like, it's a fenced-in yard, so it'll clean up pretty nice. You know, landscaping-wise, the inside of the shed isn't bad, so we'll probably repaint it to match whatever the house is. And, you know, it'll pull up through the city.
Yes, go ahead and have them take that out.
Yeah.
And then
That would be spilled. Yeah.
okay. As far as landscaping goes, throughout the project, depending on our budget, we'll talk about that. But we need to create like our go-to package. Is it gravel? Is it mulch? Is it what is it? Every one of them? Is it just a couple plants? We've done it before with no landscaping. It's just like it just doesn't feel like home when you pull up.
Starting to do it. Like over at Patterson, I've already got it.
Okay.
He's already working on it actually, or his skin.
Okay. Doesn't have to be around the house, just up front. Like let's make it look nice.
Because it's a huge thing. Like we can do everything to the house, but it's not landscape, right? It's not gonna look.
Okay.
We'll get it all cleaned up and make sure, especially this one. I mean, it's a full job. We might as well do it.
All right. I know we talked about it, but we don't. Can you put it in a spreadsheet, like itemize what you think the drywall patches, and then everything, so we can look at it and see. So the goal is 50,000.
That's where I've got it at. I mean, I've got everything.
It's gonna be hard, man. It's gonna be hard.
This one's gonna be a tough one because I'm worried about what we're gonna get into with those raptors.
Okay.
Because you know that can go very quickly. Because then they're talking about how to bring out, you know, cellulose, and they're not cellulose, benlets in order to set them in place and stuff like that. So
I bet you it's all. You just need a scissor right here. I bet you just put new wood next to it and be fine.
prepare for the worst and hope for the best. I mean, that's kind of what I do with it.
Okay, that's good.